The following is not suitable for children under the age of 18. It contains coarse language, sexual references, as well as my own personal views and opinions. All characters of the show are fictional and are made for fun, not harm. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show, the worst show ever. Hit the music! Hello, my masters, and welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the absolute worst show ever. We're on episode 41 of the Sky Genie Show. I have to say, after last week, after WrestleMania, I took the rest of the weekend off. I thought, fuck doing any more shows for the rest of that week. I didn't want to watch any more wrestling, and I just took it off. But that also gave me time to prepare for this show, as we will have the debut of Kim, who wants to be known as Tough Love for her show name. See, there's a story with that. I've been pretty much promoting her as Kim throughout the whole time, and pretty much recorded everything for Kim. And just after I edited it all and put it together, she gave me the show name of Tough Love, for which she will be known as from now on. Well, from episode 42 on. Now, I was planning to have her on at this part of the show, as I recorded everything out of order. I mean, I could do an impression, but then she might get angry and might beat me up. I don't want to get beat up, I'm brittle. But anyway, moving on. There's been a lot happening all week. All the JBL bullying stuff, the superstar shake-up, everything going on. Not only that, the bombs on Syria and everything that's going on in politics within the US, Australia, everywhere pretty much. We have some redhead cunt going on about halal, about don't eating halal Easter eggs. And I don't like to get political, but fuck off to Pauline Hanson. I mean, I have to be honest about this lady. She is a clear fucking racist. And the funny thing is that she doesn't even realize it. She doesn't realize the fact that she is a racist, so she's a closet racist. Through her whole time, about 20 years ago, she was high up in politics here in Australia. What she used to do, she used to rip on Muslims or Aboriginals, which is our native people in Australia, rip on Aboriginal people. And now every person that's Muslim is a bad person. No matter, like, I have Muslim people in my family. I'm not Muslim, but I do have a cousin that's married to a Muslim man, probably the nicest guy you'd ever meet. And not once has he ever made anything about religion. He has religious beliefs, he has his thing, but he never, ever pushes it on anybody. Even his kids, he gives them free choice. There's never a day that, since I have met this man, and I've only met him a few times, that he has ever forced me to go, hey, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this. Never have I had that. Now, there are people that are like that, that's extremists, but this man is not one of them. Now, I know I shouldn't get political, because everyone gets their shit in a knot, but fucking hell, fair go on this bitch. My theory is somebody will have the idea to go for Prime Minister here, and she'll get fucking elected. I mean, we've had Donald Trump as president in the US, so that would not surprise me. Because there are people that support this bitch. People agree with me, people disagree with me, whatever. But when this bitch is going on about anything about that's not white, just makes me want to fucking punch her head in. Now, of course, I'm not going to hit a woman. That's not the right thing to do, but fuck, you really want to punch this bitch. But anyway, enough about the politics. Let's get on with the fun of the show. So, after the break, the wrestling news. For fans of the Sky Genie Show, please also make sure to check out Wrestling Soup. They drop at 9:30 on Thursday. Join hosts Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers as they lightheartedly talk about the world that's happening in professional wrestling, as well as other current events. While over there, please make sure to check out the Saturday morning shitbox. Have your voice and question heard as Mish and Joey answer questions on their thoughts of professional wrestling or anything else going around in the world. That show drops on Saturday morning-ish. The weeks it doesn't air is because they're doing pay-per-view Sunday. Yes, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view, Mish and Joey usually review it, sometimes with John Draper. They also have shows on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch the boys live, check them out on Mixlr. For fans of the show, please also check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Don Tony and Kevin Castle show is a hard-hitting, with brutal honesty type show, as they give their views on the world of professional wrestling and WWE. They're also on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch them live, listen to them on Mixlr. And now for the wrestling news. Mauro Ranallo is apparently leaving WWE. After being gone for a month off WWE TV, rumours circulate that Mauro's reason for not being on Smackdown is because of JBL, who is said to have been bullying Mauro Ranallo for the entire time he was there. That caused Mauro Ranallo to react to his bipolar disorder. I don't know how much of this is true, but there's a lot of people coming out with Justin Roberts and all these other people that have been in WWE saying that JBL has been bullying people for years, so it's not new, really new. And if it's all true, JBL really deserves to be punished for stupid shit, and the problem is WWE is not going to do shit about it. And I noticed on Smackdown that he really didn't say much or go overboard. I think he's been told to keep low for a couple weeks until all this mess blows over. Kane has announced that he'll be running for mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. For anyone wondering, I don't think there will be a shortage of fire trucks, and Kane will not start any fires. Kofi Kingston was forced to have surgery on his ankle late last week. I noticed how they haven't had New Day in a match for at least over a month, so I guess he entered it on a house show. But anyway, moving on. Ric Flair was kicked out of a bar in Fort Wayne, Indiana for acting drunk and disorderly and harassing bar staff. Living the gimmick of Ric Flair. And that is it for the wrestling news. Coming up after the break will be the debut of Kim, who wants to be known as Tough Love. Are you looking for a good laugh? Then check out Getting the Corner. Getting the Corner. Da Corner. Da Corner. With hosts Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. Check them out on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. For interesting discussion and debates on professional wrestling, check out Johnny Florida. Michael Corvin, and Old Man Jenkins on Wrestling's National Committee. They talk a wide range of topics on the world that is pro wrestling. Check them out on Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. As you would have heard, Kim's debut early in the show. This segment of the show will be for Kim, a new co-host to the Sky Genie Show. For those who are into music, like me, Kim will share her insight, her views and reviews of the current state of the music industry. Rather than me steal any more of her time, ladies and gentlemen, here is Kim.
You guys are going to listen to me talk about lots of different kinds of music. One of my favourite songs is actually an old school Cold Chisel song. I just love that music that actually has instruments in it. People have played the music, again, on an instrument. It's not just pre-recorded sounds and pressing buttons and scratching vinyls. Like, it has emotion to it. It's great. I love that kinds of music, old school rock, all that sort of stuff. Oh wow, yeah. Not only are you going to hear me talk about music that's out there, that's on TV or has been on TV in the past, you're going to hear me talk about a lot of up and coming artists that are being showcased underground at local venues, at gigs that I go to, people that I listen to, people that are our age, that are trying to make it out there, trying to make a name for themselves. They're the people that I'm going to be promoting and getting to know and having you get to know as well through the show, through social media. It'll be good. Alrighty guys, I like lots of different types of music, but opera is something I just cannot stand. Like, if you can get past the glass shattering noise, have you noticed you can't really understand anything they say? Like, is there any opera that is in English? Any at all? I do not think so. The only good part about the opera is the music. But you kind of have to know ballet to be able to dance to that shit. And I mean, like, come on. Swan Lake, still at number 2. Phantom of the Opera, still at number 4. Like, do you guys ever update your playlist? Come on. Seriously? Come up with some new shit, guys.
And there's the end for Kim's segment for this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Coming up after the break, the wrestling reviews. If you're looking for a very professional show to listen to the Solomonster Sounds off. His show, smokes this one entirely, is a very informative show. Join Jason Solomon as he gives his thoughts on the current events of professional wrestling. Catch his show on Podbean, Stitcher or iTunes. Also check out Jason Solomon's YouTube page where he does extras for pay-per-view shows or interviews with wrestlers in the business. Jason has interviewed the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Hardcore Holly, the legendary Jim Ross, and even Booker T. Definitely a show worth checking out. For my masters who are wondering if there will be Sky Genie shows throughout the Christmas New Year period. So sorry. Not for the normal show, but check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show. There you will find I review old wrestling shows from the past. I review them to today's standards. And to make it interesting, I won't even know what I'm reviewing until I do it. Of course I'll know before you, because I have to record the fucking thing, don't I? But it's filled with gags and more as well. So check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show right here on my channel here on YouTube. And now for the Raw review. It's the Superstar Shake-Up. While I couldn't say draft, I don't fucking know. But whatever. Raw opens up with The Miz and Maurice dressed as John Cena. They come out making fun of Cena and Nikki. Dean Ambrose comes out, also from Smackdown, is now on Raw. He thinks The Miz and Maurice are Cena and Nikki. Miz and Maurice then reveal who they are. Then Dean Ambrose hits him with the finisher to leave. I thought it was a pretty funny segment, actually. We had a backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn. Miz and Maurice come in, and Kurt Angle makes a match between the two. New Day come out and cut a promo on Kofi Kingston being injured. I wonder if they're breaking him up. It was the New Day versus the Revival, who were wearing t-shirts about breaking Kofi Kingston's ankle. After a really great tag team match, the Revival win. We then get a backstage interview with Neville, and TJ Perkins interrupts. Neville calls him a joke, and Austin Aries interrupts. Blah blah blah, let's move on. Kurt Hawkins, who is now on Raw, cuts a promo about being drafted to Raw and how he wants a welcoming committee. Big Show comes out and knocks him out cold. We then had Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins. After an okay match, TJ Perkins gets the surprise win to no fanfare. After the match, TJ Perkins turns heel and finally gets a reaction. Booed, but he needed to go heel anyway. Seth Rollins comes out and cuts a promo about WrestleMania, Samoa Joe, and the Universal Championship, but says Stephanie McMahon wants him on SmackDown instead of Raw. Kurt Angle comes out and says that while Stephanie does want Seth Rollins to go to SmackDown, Kurt Angle said he saw what he did at WrestleMania to Triple H and decided to keep him. Samoa Joe comes out and attacks Seth Rollins. Kurt Angle tries to break it up but fails. Seth Rollins gets the upper hand. There is a backstage interview with Kevin Owens. We then get Charlotte versus Nia Jax in a terrible, terrible match. Nia Jax gets the win. I'm thinking Charlotte goes to SmackDown. She needs it. Finn Balor beat Jinder Mahal in a squash match. After the match, Bray Wyatt comes on the Titantron, cuts a promo on how he's going to beat Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. Apollo Crews, Kalisto, Slater and Rhino are announced to be on Raw. We then get Sami Zayn versus The Miz. After a really good match, Sami Zayn wins. Michael Cole then has an interview with Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman attacks Roman Reigns, beats the living piss out of him, slams one of those rolling cases, things that gets to set everywhere, into his face. Reigns looks really fucked up. He's probably got some of those contusion things that WWE likes to brag about. The medical staff put Roman Reigns on the stretcher, then Braun Strowman gets the stretcher and throws it off the loading dock. They then put him on another stretcher and gets him in an ambulance. Then Braun Strowman lifts the ambulance up over and tips it over. It's kind of stupid and corny, but hey, whatever. So tune in next week when Roman Reigns surprisingly recovers from all this fucking issues without a scratch on him. Next we had The Club and the Shining Stars versus Cesaro, Sheamus, and the Hardy Boys. After a really good match, the Hardy Boys, Cesaro, and Sheamus win. At the start of the match, for no reason at all, the fucking Drifter came out, and I don't know why. I don't know why the fuck he was doing it, but oh well. There was a backstage segment with Emma and Dana Brooke. Sasha Banks comes out and cuts a promo and introduces Bayley. Bayley comes out and thanks everyone for WrestleMania. Sasha goes to challenge Bayley, but Alexa Bliss comes out. Then Mickie James comes out. Goes on, and Nia Jax comes out and takes them all out. Then we come to the main event. It was Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. After a great main event, Dean Ambrose wins. After the match, Chris Jericho comes out and beats up Kevin Owens to end the show. Overall, it was a really good show. And that is my review of Raw. And now for the Smackdown review. Smackdown opens up with Kevin Owens making his debut on Smackdown. He cuts a promo about coming over to Smackdown, being the US champion, and the fact he's Canadian. He runs down America to get booze and says anybody that has a problem with it, come to the ring and confront him. Baron Corbin comes out, saying how he beat Dean Ambrose, and that he's owed a title match, and that he is entitled to face Kevin Owens, because he is owed a title match. Sami Zayn comes out, making his SmackDown debut, and Kevin Owens is pretty pissed off about that. He goes on and on. AJ Styles comes out, gets probably the biggest pop of the night. Daniel Bryan comes out and puts AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn in a triple threat match, because Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho is already booked for Payback. This is a number one contenders match for after this. So when we'll see it, who knows? Moving on, we had Eric Rowan versus Randy Orton in a meh. The winner via disqualification was Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt came on the Titantron, did his whole freaky-dicky talking thing. Eric Rowan hit Randy Orton with steps, and it was ended. We then had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It was the Usos versus the American Alpha for the championship. After a really great match, your winners and still champions, the Usos. After the match, Primo and Epico attack American Alpha. So hopefully they've done with that timeshare gimmick, because that was stupid. They had two of them for that team and Titus O'Neil. I personally was hoping that the club would come over so they could reform with AJ Styles, but you can't win them all, can you? Mojo Rawley versus the debuting for SmackDown was Jinder Mahal. After a really stupid match, Mojo Rawley wins. That Rob Gonski, or whoever the fuck he is within the audience, I could easily see that becoming a tag team match. I guess Jinder and somebody versus Mojo Rawley and this Gronsky fuckwit nobody. I don't give a fuck who he is. So that's what I see happening, and I don't really care. Just like Michael Corbin on the I Don't Care Bear. It was announced that Sin Cara and Rusev are coming to SmackDown. Now, why would you bring Sin Cara to SmackDown and not keep him on the Cruiserweight or 205 show is beyond me. I mean, it was kind of stupid. We then had Aiden English sing a promo since Simon Gotch got released. Then we had Aiden English versus Ty Dillinger. After a pretty good match, Ty Dillinger gets the win. I can easily see Ty Dillinger being the guy that defeats Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. I thought he should have won the Intercontinental Championship on his first match, but hey, that's just me. Dolph Ziggler cuts a promo and no one cared. Shinsuke Nakamura came out and everybody cared. Dolph Ziggler asks who he is. Shinsuke Nakamura gets the microphone and goes, "I'm Shinsuke Nakamura." I can't do a Japanese accent. But anyway, Ziggler goes to attack Nakamura. Nakamura blocks it. Goes to attack him, but Ziggler ducks and leaves the ring. We then come to the main event. It was a triple threat match between AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin in a pretty great main event. Your winner and new number one contender, AJ Styles. Overall, this show it had the good and the bad, but I think Raw was better this week. I'm sorry. I know people have had this streak of SmackDown being a really good show, but besides AJ Styles and I think Shinsuke Nakamura, everything was kind of bland. Randy Orton, the one thing I will say about this show, it's really apparent that AJ Styles is the focal point of SmackDown. Randy Orton might be the WWE champion, but if you're really looking at what's been going on with him, he's an afterthought. when has he main evented a show besides last week in WrestleMania? He didn't really main event WrestleMania. But when has Randy Orton been a focal point at all since winning the Royal Rumble? The faster they get the WWE Championship on AJ Styles, the better. And I hope Randy Orton is turning heel at some point, because he really, really needs it. And that is my Smackdown review. And that is it for the Sky Genie Show. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. My website is skygenieshow.weebly.com. The Facebook page is the Sky Genie Show page. And on Twitter, it's SDD916. Tough Love's social media pages is in the description below. Thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you later.